From calm and composed to fiery and fed up, these are the moments Judge David Fleischer snaps after an inmate dares to threaten him in court. Known for his sharp sense of justice and cool demeanor, Fleischer doesn't lost it often, but when he does, it's unforgettable.
If you violate those conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at zero bond. Every single thing that you say on the phone is recorded.
Kicking things off, we've got Mr. Wiggins, who somehow managed to keep breaking the rules while already behind bars. That's right, even jail couldn't slow him down. Talk about commitment to the bit.
The deputy just called me and let me know that the defendant was contacting the complainant and her mother and saying that this is how you take care of things and that everybody violates their bond conditions. And
let's hold on, wait till he's out here so he can hear this. Good morning, Mr. Wiggins.
What?
How's jail?
Cool.
It's come to my attention that you are violating the conditions that we set out in this court, flaunting it, and trying to get a hold of the complaining witnesses in these cases when we've told you not to. Go ahead.
yes, Judge, the deputy called me this morning and said that the defendant has called the complaining witness twice and the mother of the complaining witness as well. The deputy told me that while listening to these phone calls, he heard the defendant and say things such as, "This is how you take care of things," and that everybody violates their bond conditions and talks to the complainants in these cases. He also heard the defendant make statements saying that he was going to continue to violate bond, and once he gets out, he was going to hire an attorney, but he had previously learned that the defendant was indigent, and so he took this to mean that the defendant was going to commit other criminal acts to get money to hire an attorney.
Can you please notify the other courts as well that are so that they know as well?
Yes, Judge. I just sent a full email to the felony prosecutor in case the deputy hadn't already alerted her. I just went ahead and did it. The deputy, again, is getting the transcripts for these calls, and that the defendant has been using 3 separate inmate spin codes. That would be Jermaine Brown, Mark Diaz, and Dennis Compton.
Your privileges are hereby revoked. You are not allowed to use the jail phone at all from now on. Do you understand? I think that you are continuing to threat to the public even while being in jail. So your privileges to use the phones at all are hereby revoked.
Most people cool it once they're locked up, but not Mr. Wiggins. He treated jail like a new playground for bad behavior, and surprise, surprise, that little stunt cost him his privileges.
He's 19, you are taking away his ability to communicate with his family.
But he's making additional threats, allegedly, you know? Okay, we're gonna get the records, but until I know that you're not a threat, I mean...
He's typing everything.
Every single thing that you say on the phone is recorded.
I know that, so why would I be on it threatening people?
We'll find out, because I'm going to ask you, could you mind please pulling all the records, getting all the phone calls, and we'll play them out here in court, and we'll see. And if it's not, then I will gladly give you your phone privileges back, but there have deputies that have pinpointed you allegedly, you and using other people's spin numbers to make phone calls, to make continuing threats, and to further criminality if and when you get out. I don't want you to say anything. That's okay. We're going to find out because I'm going to have them pull all the records, pull all the phone calls, and we'll listen to everything.
Judge, I will also say that the defendant told the complaining witness, this is about the ag assault involving the firearm, that when she got shot, the defendant said that's what happens when you hang out with gangsters.
So pull all that stuff, you know, and all that stuff gets...
So we're all on the same page. Mr. Wiggins is obviously going back to the jail now. Even before that order is in place, you are instructing him now not to use the phone. So,
I didn't do it. That sucks, dude.
Well, we'll get the tapes and
Get it? We'll
Okay,
see.
look, okay, but I can't call nobody. Literally nobody. So what? There's no TV in my tank. There's no nothing. What am I supposed to do?
It's jail.
What's the point?
Read a book.
There is no books. I read every book in there.
Yes.
Okay. I can't trust you to use a phone, Mr. Wiggins. I mean, you know what's happening. I have other deputies that have alerted us to what's going on. I can't. That's it. I mean, you got to know when you're in the jail, there are eyes all over you. It's like at a casino. You literally have eyes all over you at all times. You got to know that whatever you're doing is always being looked at.
Stay in bed. That's why I wasn't threatening nobody. I didn't say anything.
He's typing
So-
everything
and then-
you're saying.
Asking them
I
to pull it.
understand. He's talking about I'm doing illegal things when I get out to hire a lawyer and all these other things. That's stupid. I never said anything about anything illegal. That's just.
After threatening the complainant from jail, the only thing he seemed truly concerned about was how he'd pass the time. Not the charges, not the consequences, but how he will spend the time in jail.
You get
Your coordinator, I had a very good conversation.
Your only discussion was with the judge.
Next up, we've got a courtroom clash you won't want to miss. Watch as the woman who allegedly threatened Judge Fleischer's staff gets a front row seat to her own reckoning. Spoiler alert, Sass meets gavel and the judge isn't having any of it.
I don't know what the issue is, but I think that, you're calling it not being very nice to my staff.
No,
And-
me and her had a good conversation. I mean, the lady, she said she was even going to try to help me. She was the one who told me come today. That's how I got the information.
You weren't supposed to be here today. We gave you a date
Yeah, but we're
of
not.
December 16th.
Yeah, but
for
when
the,
I called and I explained to her that I won't be here, I won't have nowhere to stay while I'm here, and I told her, she said, bring my information, my documents that I had to prove that I had eviction and I was moving back home to my mom. So how can I be here on December 16th if I'm leaving on the 15th?
you've got this case open, right? So you can't just
I know that's
move and leave without taking care of this first,
I know, but that was already arranged. That's why I called and did due diligence to say, hey, how do I go about this process? And
Okay, so you need a lawyer, right? We spoke about that last time.
that's why I brought everything to show that I have an eviction. How can I pay for a lawyer? I don't even have the money for one. And I'm
If I remember last time you came here, you said you have your own business. You've got
Just because I have business, that
4
doesn't mean I
trucks
make money. Yeah,
that
I
you've
did,
got.
but I'm here because the guy who I'm here for ruined that truck, totaled the truck, and I don't have it. I never got it back. That's why I'm here. My livelihood was ruined by the guy that I'm here for.
now charged with terroristic threat.
That's fine.
You've been filed on for this case.
Respectfully, see how can I go about the process that a person, when I called, a rep told me to do this. So I came here to respectfully go about the process the right way, so I don't miss work. Paper says if you can't make it to do your due diligence, so I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm not getting the, I guess, response or help. I don't know.
Okay, so you work now currently, right?
My livelihood, no, my work was my truck. It is ruined, it is gone. I have no work. The guy I was here for that worked with me crashed and totaled my truck, which means my work, my only livelihood, my business is ruined.
What were you doing before?
I had my business for 6 years,
Doing what?
running a commercial fleet service, 26-foot box trucks.
Okay, and how much money were you making a month?
Monthly, after pay, I would say maybe 8,000, and that's including paying for the truck note, truck insurance, and rent.
Okay, so how much money do you make now a month?
I haven't made money since he trashed my truck, which was what, September 28th or something like that?
So you tell me you've been out of work since
I have
September,
been getting help
now
from
in
my mom.
November?
I've been out, I don't have work, I had a business.
How do you support yourself now?
Family is helping me, which is why I say I'm going back home to my mother who's helping me.
She really brings a whole new level of entitlement to the courtroom. However, she forgot she is not the main character today. Judge Fleischer is, and he's about to serve her a fresh slice of courtroom reality.
Very hard in my life. I'm not a dummy. I have degrees. I worked very hard in my life. I worked for American Red Cross. I also have a phlebotomist certificate. I also have a real estate license. I'm not dumb, stupid, or slow. You're not talking to the one who's sitting here in front of you claiming something. I've worked hard in my life with the American Red Cross for 12 years. I'm not dumb, stupid, or slow. I opened a business. I started a business, and a man ruined my business. And I'm here for free. Yes, I did. If you call it a terrorist there, call it what you want. Someone ruined my livelihood that I worked very hard for, would not return it. I don't have the keys to my livelihood. $72,000 truck with a loan still on it that I still have to pay for. I don't have it.
I can give you an application for an appointed lawyer. We need you to fill it out. Don't just put zeros. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have at the bank, how many cars you have, house, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, IRAs. Just fill it out and I'll take a look if you qualify. And if you qualify.
Again, if I'm not going to be here, I have an eviction. I don't know what more you need to see if you need me to miss court, because I'm not going to be here or be sleeping on the street. I don't know if that's what you want from me. That's not how I live my life. That's not how I went to school to plan to live my life. I don't know if you want me here living on the street. We get to court December 16th, but again, if I have an eviction that I brought to you from a community complex, a legal document, where do you want me to sleep until December 16th?
You can't just take off.
I did not say that. That's why I am here to ask you the correct procedure. That's why I am here. I came here to ask you to do my due diligence, so I don't just take off. I could have, a million people just take off. I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm just not getting the proper, I guess, for respect or response.
I don't appreciate your passive aggressive.
I'm just trying to do my due diligence, and you're just saying, I don't know.
I know that you're touting the due diligence word, and I've told you also repeatedly that you need a lawyer to represent you. The lawyer can give you guidance. I cannot. I can't give you legal advice. I cannot give you guidance. I can only tell you that you need a lawyer, what you're charged with, what you're facing, the bond conditions that you have. At this point in the game, it's lawyer. You need a lawyer. I've told you that you need to go hire one. You're telling me that you don't have money, that you've not worked since September. So the next stage is I give you an application to fill out, and I'm going to give you an application to fill out, but don't give it to me with all zeros, because I'm going to send it back to you. Just fill it out honestly, fill it out thoroughly, and I'll take a look whether you qualify. And if you do, I'll provide you with a court-appointed lawyer. But you got to understand, in this life, the way that you've acted to me, the way that you've threatened the staff, the way that you've threatened my coordinator on the phone, in this life, you get...
Your coordinator, I had a very good conversation.
Your only discussion was with the judge.
You get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
I'm sorry, can I say something? Me and the coordinator had very good conversation. So what coordinator did you spoke to that told you that? Because we had a good conversation, and she just said no. I had a very good conversation with the coordinator, who actually told me, no, come up here tomorrow. I said I could come next. She said, no, come tomorrow. If I was you, gave me correct steps. So I don't know. It wasn't Latoya Furlow. I don't appreciate that, because I've never had an incorrect conversation with anyone on the phone. I called one time and got that information one time from a lady who thanked me, and I had a conversation outside of this with that person on the phone. So it wasn't out of a conversation at all, for not even a second.
She really thought she ate with her argument until Judge Fleischer shut her down. He seriously has the patience of a saint.
A big part of this life is also listening. I've been trying to explain you stuff as well. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar in every aspect of life. If you act like this to the lawyer that we give you, you're not going to have a good relationship, and it's not going to go well. So remember, be patient, be nice. It takes a while to get evidence. Rome wasn't built in a day. So if we give you a lawyer today and you start hooting and hollering, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, it takes time.
Yes, sir, you're judging me. I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
I'm just telling you to be patient and be nice, because it goes a long way in every aspect of life. All right, do you mind giving an application? Thanks.
Judge, I don't want to get into the facts or anything, but I just want to correct any misrepresentations that were made to the court. The complainant
Wait, hold on.
The complainant in this case is not her former employee, it's his family. So the people that she was naming, his brother-in-law, sister, and their child. I just want to make that known to the court. It was not the employee that was the complainant in the terroristic threat.
Okay. Do we have proper bond conditions in place now?
They don't speak English. Yeah, say anything.
Ma'am, Ms. Furlow, it's not your turn to say anything. Just please. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right.
Telling a judge that he's judging you, that's the next level of genius right there. Moral of the story? If you're gonna throw tantrums in court, at least bring a valid argument. Or better yet, don't.
I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand?
Moving on, we've got chaos in the courtroom. This woman's facing a buffet of charges: criminal mischief, interfering with an emergency call, and a terroristic threat.
On April 13th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a disturbance. Dispatch stated that the defendant knocked the complainant's phone out of her hand and then left the location. Officers made contact with the female matching the description given by dispatch. The female stated that she was the victim, but she was not talking without a lawyer. Defendant gave name and date of birth, but would not provide an ID card. Defendant was detained and taken back to the incident location. Complainant stated she reported a criminal mischief on the defendant the day prior. Complainant advised to dispatch that he would later call back and report the incident, which he received video of the incident proving that the defendant had damaged his vehicle. Complainant advised today he went to the store, and when he returned, the defendant was on his porch. Complainant asked the defendant, "What are you doing here?" After you broke my window of the vehicle, of my vehicle. Complainant advised he told the defendant just to sit there while he called police. Defendant then left, but returned while he was on the phone with dispatch. Defendant knocked the phone out of his hand and caused damage to the phone. The value of the phone was $300.
And what about the terroristic?
So the terroristic threat, Your Honor, and this is the same complainant. On April 15th, officers were dispatched to a telephone harassment. Upon arrival, officers spoke with the complainant. Complainant stated that he had received a phone call from the defendant via a Google phone number, threatening to shoot up her home. Complainant stated she was confident the caller was the defendant and expressed her desire to pursue criminal charges. Further investigation revealed that the defendant had been arrested at the same location on April 13th for interference with an emergency call and mischief. She was out on bond for that incident.
Should be given conditions not to go back.
Let me check here.
Ms. McKnight, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I don't want you to have contact with this person.
It's not for them. I'm hurting about that person.
I don't want you to have contact with this person. Do you understand? Are you sure? You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't want you to go where this person lives. If you do, it's not going to go well. I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I have evidence for all that.
And I'm going to give you a lawyer today. I know that there's two sides of the story. You can give your side of the story you can give your side of the story to the lawyer, but I don't want you to have contact with this person. That's it. Do you understand?
So when it comes down to the child, do I have to come back to court just to get in contact with him?
I don't want you to go to his house.
No, I'm talking about do I have to come to court so I get in contact with him because we have a child.
We'll figure that out. Let me get you the lawyer and then we'll figure that out. But just don't go to the person's house. Don't have contact with him. Don't call him. Don't use anybody else's phone to contact him. It's not going to go well. You need to understand that if I revoke your bond in these cases and I set them at $5,000 to $10,000 and you don't have anyone to post those bonds, you will be stuck in there until these cases are over.
This defendant didn't just lose her temper, she went full arson mode, threatening to burn the complainant's house down. But Judge Fleischer laid down the law and reminded her exactly what those words could cost her.
He charged on him while stating that he was going to kill him and all of his friends.
Up next, Mr. Arzola is back in front of Judge Fleischer, this time for violating a protective order. His one job: don't contact your father. But guess what? He just couldn't help himself, and now he's facing the consequences.
On April 30th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. Officers arrived and met with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant is his son. The complaining witness was informed that the defendant was causing a disturbance at his shop and wanted him criminally trespassed. The defendant refused to leave and refused to sign a trespass warning given by officer. Officer then found the defendant had an active protective order prohibiting from being at the location.
So this is the terroristic threat, I imagine, had the protective order.
I believe so, Your Honor.
And so the court knows, I think the one that ends with 9-2, That one was no PC'd. I think that one's being dismissed or was dismissed, but that leaves open the other 3 cases.
Oh, there was another terroristic threat.
There's 2 terroristic threats. One was no PC'd, and I believe that's being dismissed. And then there's just so the court.
I guess I didn't realize they're all basically within the same. So what happened on the terroristic threat and the mischief, I guess?
On the mischief, Judge, on April 28, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers met with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant is his son. Complaining witness stated that the defendant struck several vehicles with metal pipe, breaking the taillight left panel and damaging the front hood of the vehicle. Complaining witness stated the defendant then started arguing.
Is there any evidence?
And gestured a handgun and acted like he was discharging it. That's on the.
That's a terroristic threat.
What?
That is.
You read that again?
Correct, Your Honor.
He acted like he had a handgun. Did I get it?
And acted like he discharged it.
So a imaginary gun is a terroristic gun? Like a...
Once a protective order is in place, popping up at the protected person's location isn't just a bad idea, it's a fast track to felony level trouble, and that's exactly what Mr. Arzola was headed towards it.
Well, it says that then they're unlawfully threatened to commit an offense, namely murder, upon a member of the defendant's family, namely Jesse James Arzola Sr., hereinafter called the complainant, with intent to place the complainant in fear of imminent serious bodily injury.
I have a little more, Judge, too.
Okay.
So, the defendant, used his right-handed gesture, a handgun, acting like he discharged on him while stating that he was going to kill him and all of his family members.
Mr. Arzola, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I can't give you a PR bond, man. Just, you scare me. The last thing I want is I don't want you to go back, and I don't want you to do something that you will eternally regret. It's mom and dad, man, you know? Look at me. What's going on with you?
I filed some paperwork, Your Honor. Just so you know.
What I'm gonna do now, Mr. Arzola, I'm gonna have you speak to some people because we need to figure out how to go forward. I don't know. Just don't go back over there. Do you understand? I don't know if you're gonna get out, but if you do, I'm putting a monitor on your ankle and I don't want you to go back over there. I'll obviously give you a bond reduction on 100,000. I think it's a little excessive, but I'm gonna revoke his PR bonds. You know, he was on a PR bond. I'm assuming he was on a PR bond and went back. Is that right? Because the first offenses happened on the 28th. Now, the VPO.
And this, so the VPO has sent from that.
And it has been assigned to DVE or...
Right, so 2 days later it goes back, and so that's why.
So it's not going to be theirs, but I don't know who the DVE prosecutor is.
Can you get all the
They're going to share everything they have with me, yes, sir. Can take a look.
police badge numbers and the police that were there?
Yep.
That arrived?
It'll be in the report once
It'll be in the report. Everything.
And can we go to trial?
We sure can, but with one step at a time, okay?
I'm issuing a protective order now on the violation case. If you violate those conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at 0 bond until these cases are over with. You understand? The only thing I'm asking you to do is don't have contact with your dad.
Mr. Arzola didn't just break the rules, he shattered them. He straight up threatened to kill his own parents. Not exactly the kind of family reunion anyone was hoping for, and definitely not something Judge Fleischer takes lightly, as he set his bond at $100,000 and imposed strict conditions. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this courtroom drama and want more, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.